Okay guys, this is really a video just to show you as to how my e-guided learning lessons can be used. I'm not going to say should or anything like that. It's up to you as to how you pick and mix it and so on. Okay, I want to sort of touch on, if you like, a part of the logic behind the way I do things, if you like. Talking about decoding, scaffolding, that sort of emphasis within language learning and teaching and so on. Now this is the first slide of a typical e-guided learning or EGL lesson, with the title of the slide at the top, okay, and then the learning objective just below it. Okay, so that sort of takes you into what we're doing here now. I'm just going to play this here, so what you would normally find. Okay, so I'm just going to play the play button. It's going to take us into the second slide, hopefully, and I'll be able to talk through that. Okay, so there we have that there, and have a look at this here. So that is the starter activity, if you like. So you've got the starter activity, 6 questions based on the cartoon that's going to be coming up. Now I've called it cartoon preview. I think really, or overview or preview is wrong description actually in hindsight these days. I'm using the cartoon really to go through the grammar points in general terms. Okay, so general terms, good, thorough and general maybe sounds as though it contradicts each other. It's not meant to, but it's going through explaining the grammar point. Okay, so that is the question or the sheet that they have in front of them to fill out. 6 questions based on the cartoon that they then see. So I'll bring the cartoon into shot. Okay, and that's the title slide. Ich bin, I am. Okay, I'll just play through, and I might sort of pause it where need be. Sorry about the clicking. So explanation that the Germans don't use AON. Now here we've got a, if I can use the term, preview slide. Okay, so the slide that you find on the first part of that particular page within the cartoon, and then the finished product comes up straight after this here. So you, okay, and I've written in masculine for student, Student, and then the feminine for student, Studentin. Okay, and I've pretty much gone through using the same sort of style for each one here. So the look of the slide at the beginning before I write anything in, obviously here has already been written in over here. Okay, some of the words I've put in already, and then you actually see me writing the rest of the words which are going to come up in a minute. Okay, and that's the finished article for that one. Okay, so just play through this here. So this is the cartoon that they have in front of them. Okay, they have those 6 questions to make notes from. They can make more notes if they want to. That's up to them. Showing Ich bin in different contexts with different words that can be used, physical description, characteristics, jobs, and so on. Then also looking at the breakdown of Sein in general, so the equivalent of he is, she is, and so on in German, etc. Okay, so that's what you've got there. So that is, ladies and gents, the cartoon. Goes with the starter. In an ideal world, could have this going on as they come into the classroom. Could play it through twice. The cartoon itself is about 4 minutes long, so 4 times 2, 8 minutes. Fits nicely within the starter bit, and so on. Okay, so that is the cartoon, ladies and gents. Now, so the cartoon is explaining, as I said before, in general terms, the grammar point, if you're talking about grammar, that is. Okay, now I've then got the what I call the e-blackboard presentation, which is the if you like, the core input part of the lesson, which is coming up here. So now each student has one of these sheets here. Now, as you can see, they've got the 6 sentences that they've got to listen out for and make notes on. Now you can split them into duos or trios. Now for the duos, just a pair, if you like, each person within the pair does 3 sentences each. So person number 1 might do, person A will do 1, 3, and 5, and person B would do 2, 4, and 6, for example. The trios, person A would do 1 and 4, person B would do 2 and 5, and person C would do 3 and 6. So they just concentrate on making those notes from hearing the video. Okay, so that's the sheet they can make notes on. This is the video at the outset before it starts. It's color coded. You see up here color coded. Okay, color coded with the same sort of colors down here to show what goes with what. Okay, a strong emphasis in my videos of looking at scaffolding, of sentence building, and so on. Okay, strong influence for me personally from people like Pimsleur, Michel Thomas, and recently a guy called Paul Noble, where you construct the sentence as opposed to just learning it off by heart. You sort of you work it out, okay, in a sort of mathematical decoding manner. Right, as you can see down there, you got a picture of me. Okay, normally in the video I will be talking down there somewhere. I should also be in the cartoon, but I'm not in that particular shot there. Okay, and as you see, I've just done the finished product for each sentence down there, like so, and that's what it looks like at the end. Okay, so that is that. Now, I've then put a photograph of a typical whiteboard. The idea is that once the 6 sentences have been jotted down by the students collectively between them, they then teach each other the sentences. So sentence 1 is taught by whoever is responsibility for it, teaches on the board. They make notes into either their books or mini whiteboards. This is an A2 sized board, so twice the size of an A3. A3 would be about that size. Okay, so the person who's got number 1 will teach number 1 on there and show their friends. Person number 2, or the next person B, if you like, would then do number 2, and so on. Okay, a bit of, well, it's peer teaching basically. 6 sentences, 1 sentence per minute, therefore 6 minutes set aside for that part of the lesson, and you can have a stopwatch going on in the background on the board to help you with that. Okay, now after they've gone through, you might want to play a quick sort of review of the 6 sentences, which is to music. So, well, normally to music, it's not in this particular case. Now, as you can see here, ladies and gents, just going to move that up here. You've got, if you like, on the top line, you've got the English. Okay, the function of each of the words, what type of word they are, the connective, and so on. In the middle, telling you that. Okay, and then you've got the bits and pieces that go with that in German above in these different shapes. Now, some people might say, well, why haven't you put them in the order that you got down here? It's to, I suppose, I don't want them to just sort of stare at it, and I want them to sort of have some sort of thinking process going on, and thinking, ich bin goes over here, obviously männlich here, Vierzehnjährige out there, and so on. Okay, so they're not just sort of like looking at it. They've got to kind of like think a bit and stretch their minds to it a little bit more than just saying a direct translation. If there are any word order issues, which often there are in German, not particularly with regards to ich bin, but say perfect tense, etc., then that will reflect down here. The colours will be in different parts. Okay, so for example, you've got a second verb in German, it would be at the end of the sentence, and the colour code that goes with it would go over here. Alright, so that is the second one there. Okay, and then the third one. Okay, so the idea is to have these shuffled up so that they're not just sort of blindly staring at it. They've got to think just a little bit. So have a good look at that one there. Notice that if the function is the same, I tend to stick the same colour. So here, ich bin or bist du, okay, same colour.